stories in the Bible is shredded in mystery. It has relevance to present situations, past, and applicable for whom find the ancient ones decide they want that message to be transcribed for. Because you got to understand something. We know that nowhere in the Bible, and it's no slight on the Bible, but we know that nowhere in the world that we can find the apostles' gravesite.
Old Testament prophets in the Bible, Deuteronomy 31st says he was buried by God in an unknown location. His grave is intentionally hidden, so there is no known tomb. Samuel traditionally believed buried in Ramah, modern day Israel. There are sites claimed to be his tomb. Claimed a traditional tomb attributed to him in Iran, though this is not historically confirmed. Daniel, multiple locations claim burial, including etc., and others, showing how uncertain these traditions are. John the Baptist relic claims exist everywhere. His tomb is traditionally identified in the church. Christians hold that he rose from the dead, so the tomb is considered empty and not a grave in the usual sense.
Not a one. They may have written out names and whatnot, but there is not a single grave, realistically, of any apostles, saints. Well, I ain't gonna say saints because anybody could be considered a saint, but of the Bibles in the Bible, prophets and messengers. Nowhere in the Bible are they actually a burial site. Because if it was, you would see all around the world of the Christians, in different religions, showing and celebrating at these grave sites, or giving homage, I should say, if I pronunciate it wrong, to John, Paul, Abraham, Jacob, but we don't. You know why? Because to your religion, to my way of life. But it's for me to teach you the truth, okay? Because understand that when we say, as I explained to you, when we say Bible, we say biblica, which is Greek, which means many books. These are books. These are stories. Okay? Just as people go to Mardi Gras, just as people go to New Orleans and enjoy themselves down there, just as people go to Las Vegas, they show pictures, but nowhere do you see on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, nowhere around the world do you see people celebrating or showing videos, their families, their kids celebrating being at these holy sites where the prophets and the message is, because there is none. But there is a meaning to the story. Well, I ain't gonna say there is none. You see, because when you say Heru, you're saying horse, and horse is Heru, and Heru is the Christ from ancient Egyptian mythology. Now, my premise is speaking on this because I want to talk about the story pertaining to David and Goliath. A lot of y'all not privy to this, and it's important that I enlighten y'all so that you'll know that the story pertaining to, let's get some light on here, that the story pertaining to David and Goliath is deep. The ancient ones been brought this to my attention. I just wanted to speak on it now, right? See, when you listen to the story, I have something up here on my other phone breaking it down, right? Now, ask yourself, how many stones?
You see, when you say the word stone, the S represents the serpent over the cross, which represents the Kundalini energy rising up the base of the spine to connect to the one stone. Your pineal represents the pine cone, which is the crystal-like stone in your brain. Your Bira, which brain is spelled.
Did David have? This David had 5 stones. How many of that 5 stones was used to bring down Goliath? 1. You see, the story of David and Goliath is shredded in mystery because we talk about the power of the coded message of 14 again. 1 stone, 1 out of the 5, which dealing with not only one's 5 senses, but talking about that cornerstone, which talks about opening up one's pineal. Listen, let's go over the story. The Bible story, David and Goliath, 1 Samuel 17. How a young shepherd, David, defeated a formidable Philistine giant named Goliath, armed only with a sling of 5 smooth stones. Remember I was telling you about the stones? And the faith in God. David killed Goliath with a single stone to the forehead. We talking about the third eye. We talking about waking the third eye, the giant within oneself, the sleeping giant within oneself. David being small stature, you being small stature, but taking on Goliath nations, taking on Goliath like cities, states, countries, by the divine, by the ancient ones. You see, this is what the message being coded and allowing one to tap in, and one having the abilities to tap in and using one's third eye by, it's saying, hitting the forehead. He hit his forehead because he was a sleeping giant. What happened when the giant fell back? The giant fell back, it was dead. The giant fell back, it was sleep, because when hitting one's third eye, it awakened the sleeping giant. Back is forward, forward is back, right is left, left is right. As above, so below. As below, so upper. Let's read something. Now, I want to read something to bring something to your attention. This is 1 Samuel 17. Now, David was the son of the Ephrathite named Jesse, right? Who was from Bethlehem in Judah. Jesse had 8 sons, and in Saul's time, he was very old. Now, this is key. I'm telling you, it's coded. Now, on verse 13, it states, Jesse's 3 oldest sons had followed Saul to the war, right? The firstborn was Eliab, I pronounced it wrong, and second, Abinab, and the third, Shammah. David was the youngest. Listen, the 3 oldest followed Saul. Now listen, they just told you the number 13 and the number 4 all in one. Because the 3 oldest, they named the 3. Why even include that in there? And David being the youngest represent 4.
So it just brought to my attention that if you look at the letters in Elib and you get it. I ain't gonna mutilate the names anymore and already mutilated. Taking each letter, it says C, C-E-A, as in the depth of the sea, but also is twofold to identify with C, as in sea looking, So it's saying C, D. Who is this D? But it also, when you look at the letters, right, it's saying E, as in identifying E being 5. It's a number of a star. But it also has the coded letters of someone's name. I can't make this up. Let's get there. So when we do this, E, right? E, A, S. And then it has the D for David. Ass. You see? Ass. And then D. But then when you look at it again, it's right there. Check it out. So we have, right here we have the letter of somebody's name. A and D. Right? Only thing I'm doing is putting in the order that it's showing. And then we have also what connects, let's say, ass. I want to be messed up. But we see the connection to AS. And then we got AD. You see? But when we go in the depth of the sea, is this as saying to see? S-E-A. See who? Is it to CD? What y'all think?
Right. Going from right to left, David being that one who is the 4th one that is mentioned, represent the 4. Is the reason why you have, after mentioning the 3rd Shammah, they go to verse 14 and it said David represents 1-4, which is AD. And David represents this. I can't make this up. Now David was the son of the Ephrathite named Jesse, who was from Bethlehem in Judah. Jesse had 8 sons. There go that 8 again. And in Saul's time, he was what? Very old. Now, look at the 13 next to Jesse's 3rd oldest sons had followed Saul to the war. The firstborn was, they numbering it now, in the number 13. The firstborn, which represent 1, right, was Elab. The second, Benab. And the third, Shammah. Forgive me if I'm mutilated. Now look, 14 is next to David. Number codes. Now, they just mentioned 3, right? The E, the A, and the S. The E, the A, and the S. Then we go to David, was the youngest. So that's where we get the number 4. And also, from right to left, being David is spoken as being the youngest one represents the 1, followed by the left of him is the 3, which represents 4. But it's also the 13th one, right? The 3 oldest follow Saul. But David went back and forth from Saul to tend his father's sheep in Bethlehem. I'm telling you, it's Cody. Damn, I did all that talking, it wasn't recorded. All right, let's go back over it. Then check it out. Now, this is deep. Now, peep game. You say, I cannot go. Now, mind you, David was dressed up for battle. David pretty much told his father, man, I can't carry this. It's too heavy. So let's read it. I cannot go on these, he said to Saul, because I am not used to them. So he took them off. Then he took his staff in his hand, chose 5 smooth stones. Let's stop there. Why would he be taking a staff in his hand and also 5 stones in a battle, to fight in a battle holding a sling? It's impossible. How you gonna hold 3 things at once? But see, it's talking about his staff to identify with regality. His rod and his staff protects me. The pharaohs holds rods and staffs crossing their chests. You see them holding their regal rod and staff, as I call also the scepter. In the old pictures they depict of Yeshua, the Jesus that y'all know, has and holds a staff, just as Moses held a staff. It was like his wand, his magic wand. Remember, he did a lot of things with the staff. And remember on how the fiery netter said, what do you hold in your hand? He said, my staff, what I prod the sheep. And he threw it down and it turned into a serpent. Well, let's go back over it. At the number 40 again, to go that 4. Remember, it started with David being, let's go back up. Well, the story, I had to stroll up. But it strolled up to talk about David being the 4th one. And they mentioned him 4th. And now they go to 40. That 4 again. Then he took his staff in his hand, chose 5 smooth stones from the stream, put them in his pouch on his shepherd's bag, and with his sling in his hand approached the Philistine. Now see, he's ready to battle. You see? But he's still holding the staff. So he got the staff, the 5 stones, and the sling. That 3 again. But his double talk is coded. Now, you have to understand number codes. Could we talking about a society, a secret society that speaks in codes? And when you talking about the chosen one, the divine gonna always have this chosen one name numbered in a code. Now, when it pertains to David again, we go to the number 13, because 4 plus 9 is 13. What happened? Look, he reached into his bag, taking out a stone, which means 1. He slung it and struck the Philistine on the forehead. They'll go, the stone, look how we have a stone over forehead. So we have 1 and 4 right there, all in one. Out a stone, up under it, forehead. Cause we talking about, listen, and he did what? Slung it and struck the Philistine on the forehead. Then what? The stone sank into his forehead and he fell face down on the ground. 4 and 9 giving us the power of 13. 3, 1 and 3 is 4. Up under 3 plus 9, under 4 plus 9 being 13 represents the equivalent of 4. In body 4, we got 5 up under it, which 50 is a is the powerful number representing a new. So David triumphed over the Philistine with a sling and a stone without a sword in his hand, and he struck down the Philistine and killed him. This is a para. The stone stuck into his head. We're talking about the pineal. This is what it's pertaining to. It didn't say the stone cracked his head. It didn't say the stone split his head. It didn't say, you did? We're talking about someone from the divine, through the divine, by the gods, through the gods, who's given the ability to be represented as a David for the people. You see? Who's given royal authority with the staff, the rod, to identify who David representing of everyone represents who you are as a divine source, and trusting in the divine, not fearing none, but knowing that what's meant for you is gonna happen. What's not meant for you is not gonna happen. But when you put your trust in the divine, victory is given. Not fearful, David ran out to identify that when the army came for him, he used his third eye, which represents that one stone, because we're talking about the one who really is the cornerstone, and how David also connects to the chief cornerstone, because we're talking about the stone. Out a stone on the forehead, because this stone represents this builder starting something new. Now listen, this is important. From the gods, through the gods, by the gods, who broke these signs to me, who explained these signs to me. Now, how you will understand that this is a coded divine message. When you say the word David and Goliath, those letters are coded. So when you say David and Goliath, you're saying D-A-G, which means dag. Where you get the word Dagon, which represent the Dogon, you see? But dag means, let's look at the meaning of it. So when you say the word dag, it says, and I'm gonna show you, the ancient meaning of the name dag is rooted in Old Norse, where it translates to day or daylight. Derived from the Old Norse word dagar, D-A-G-R. It symbolizes light, clarity. What is Lucifer called? What is Lucifer called? Lucifer is called the light bringer. Now, let me show you, because when you say the word David and Goliath, it's talking about dag. It's talking about the light. It's talking about the light awakening one's third eye. It's talking about the light awakening your third eye. Let it be understood that when we say that word dag, right? When we say that word dag, which is the letters of David and Goliath, which is dag, is also the name for a god. Dag also means God. Alright? So, the historical mythological background pertaining to the Norse god Dag is fascinating figure within the Norse mythology. His name literally means day. You see? That's why when you say in the coded letters in one's name, when you say day, you saying light. You see? When you say day, when you say like in my name, when you say Duran, Duran, Ashley, the first letter in Duran is D. In the middle is N, which represent 14, right? And then when you go to the first letter in Ashley, it's A. D, A, and then at the end of Ashley is Y. We're saying day. So we're saying light, and then we're 14 in the middle, which is the end. All right? Now, the Norse god Dag is a fascinating figure within the Norse mythology. His name literally means day and is often seen as the embodiment of daylight. In the genealogical classification of the Norse gods, Dag is a less prominent but nonetheless important figure. He is the son of Dillinger, the god of dawn. Look, I keep my shit covered up. Look, the origin and genealogical classification. Look, the Norse god Dag is a fascinating figure within the Norse mythology. His name literally means day, and he is often seen as the embodiment of daylight. What is Lucifer? The light bearer. Who is David? Representing.
So when you say the name David, it's twofold. It's like it's compound hidden. Because when you say David, you say day first. And then you say vid, V-I-D. David. Day meaning light. So when we look up the origins of the name, we know day means light, right? Which is, in David's name is the letters D-A again. And then vid. What is vid? V-I-D. It is a feminine noun meaning grapevine. The light of this grapevine, right? And then we go to Slavic languages. We see that it's male given. And in ancient language is root referring to knowing or understanding or finding, often related to V-E-D-A, or represent knowledge. So we see that the coded message in David's name, which means light, knowledge, or light of the vine, you see.
The coded message of this light bearer. This stone inside of him. The stone, what do you, hold on, listen. Y'all missed it. What is the pineal gland? The pineal gland is a stone crystal inside your third eye. Let's go back to Norse God, right? So now you know.